This is my very first Zoom meeting of the Stressed Supermoms group. I won't bother you with all the details yet, but we'll get into the nitty-gritty soon. The first thing that I want you to know is that I'm Ruth Elliott-Hilsdon, and I have 7 children. They're all grown up, but now I have grandchildren, and it's been quite an adventure. So I have probably made all the mistakes already, so you don't have to. You can just ask me and I'll say, no, don't do that. I tried it and it didn't work. So one of the things though that did work happened quite by accident, and well, it was divine. It really was. But what happened was I was totally overloaded once when, well, that has happened many times actually. I was totally overloaded one day, and I just like suddenly went into this panic mode where I realized I couldn't keep it all together. And I freaked out and I yelled and screamed at the kids. And then I felt so horrible. And I ran into the bathroom and said, God, please, what's happening to me? I used to be such a nice person. And then I realized I needed more help. I just couldn't do it all. My husband didn't help. He, well, he did change one dirty diaper once, and then he threw up and never did it again with our first child. So I never had any help with that kind of thing. And then his mother had always cleaned the house and run after him being an only child. He never had to do anything. And so he was kind of like helpless in the cleaning department. And then he could escape when he went off to work. And I was left with everything. But at any rate, I had a job too, working at home, which was quite, intensive. How do you work at home with 7 children? But this moment in time that I'm explaining about was when I only had 4 children. And so like I said, I just totally ran into the bathroom crying and saying, God, I used to be such a nice person. What happened? And so I was thinking, I need help. I need help. All this stuff is just falling down upon me, and how can I get it done? I was just dying. So I cried out to God, and at that moment, I realized these kids could help, but how could they help if I haven't taught them how? So at that moment, the light bulb went on, and I ran out of the bathroom, and I said, Kids, I am so sorry that I yelled at you and hurt your feelings, and I'm so sorry. It wasn't your fault. I'm just overloaded, and I'm so exhausted from having too much to do. And I said, I'll tell you what. I said, you don't like it when Mommy yells, do you? And they all went, no, we don't like it. And so I said, well, I don't like it either. And so I'll tell you what we're going to do. If you will help me get some of the work done, I promise not to yell, and I will do my best. Well, the kids were like, okay, let's help. So we wrote down all the little chores that I knew they could help me with, put them all in a little hat, mixed them up, and that night we had our first home family meeting that was, going to be the start of many family meetings we would have. And all the kids they picked out a chore, and the other guy would pick out a chore, and they'd all look at the chores and they go, I don't want to do that. Well, I don't want to do that. Let's trade, and we'd have this little game like we'd play where everybody would say, well, what can you do? And what can you do? And we got it all organized and wrote it down on a chart. And some of the kids couldn't read, so I would draw pictures of their chore. Pretty soon it was more fun if we all had pictures, so I drew a whole bunch of pictures, and that later became the basis of my site Go Mommy Go, that has the free behavior charts and chore charts. So at any rate, every day they would do their little chores, and I would show them how to do it and taught them each step of the way. And then they'd get better and better. So it was such a wonderful time of becoming more empowered and not so desperate and helpless. And that's what I'd like to share with you today if you're having trouble with your kids. Now, maybe your kids are babies and can't help at all. Well, there are other things that you can do. So I want to go over these things one at a time, step by step. And as you have any little problems with them, we'll share, okay? So please send me your emails, send me your questions, and we can get going and learn a lot of things, okay? So anyway, that's my wish for you, that you would be able to get some peace and harmony and be able to find your way.